And we're
Wait, you said we're back?
I think. Did I?
Oh,
We're
I'm not
back.
sure. You were bopping. I couldn't tell if you were making up your own song lyrics, as I do to any song ever.
We're back.
Oh, hey, we are back. Welcome to another episode of Twitching UpStream, which is really, it's my current favorite show on the tubes. But if you don't know how Twitching UpStream became a thing, it's because we have a show called Talking UpStream, which is currently my favorite show on the tubes. Now, on that show, what we do is we interview creators of random things, whether it's movies, radio stations, board games, shovel head shapes, and then we kind of get their thought process on why they do what they do, how they do what they do, and then what leads them down to the final product. Product. I was like project and product, and I got to product, which is a stupid non-word. Anyway, we have 42 episodes of Talking UpStream. You can check this out on our YouTube channel. And what we decided to do was, instead of just constantly creating new things, because even our ideas kind of run out, or at least get a little stale, we decided to take some of our better ideas and then work on them, and then show you guys our process of how we work together to create cool and funny projects, such as Silicon Angels, which is a very cool show about found footage of sex robot IT work, and the people that have to field those phone calls. If you haven't listened to that, please check that out.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing show. 12 episodes, huge cast of characters. You could find podcast, which is this guy right here. In that show, what we do is we find crazy podcasts, and then Dylan and I review them 7 at a time. And some of them are decent, and some of them are very, very bad. Some other ones that you might have heard or seen, or definitely should have. You have Create Your Own Podventure, which is the one that's in the middle here. That guy. Now, what that guy is, Dylan wrote 17 episodes of a create your own path, if you will. You listen to episode 1 and then decide which one you'll listen to next, if any at all. Either way, we're content creators. We're media makers. What are we, hip shakers?
I shake my hips. They don't lie.
I've definitely seen you. I've seen they've never lied to me.
I'm doing it right now, and you can hardly tell. That's how independent they move.
Guess what? That's the truth, because they ain't lying.
No.
But before we get into the content creation, last week we started a newer project, one that we are currently calling Complex
Paranoia.
Complex Paranoia, yeah. And it's about, I forgot that last word. Now that's about a person who creates a device that can read thoughts. And we start off on this kind of apartment thing where they just found out that somebody has recently murdered anyone. Now we're going to get into the character creation and a little more of the story developing soon. Like usual, while people are gathering in the chat rooms and figuring out exactly which emojis to throw into the chat, I like to throw a bunch of weird nerd stuff at Dylan just to get his lackluster impressions on them, because he does not care about the stupid stuff that I care about. But I'm going to try to find something eventually that interests him. I don't think
found some hits before in the past.
Yeah, maybe, possibly. But Dylan, I am a huge fan of Disney movies, especially Pixar movies.
Sure.
I'm a huge fan of lore and questioning how things go. Now, I've assembled my biggest Disney / Pixar questions that I would love answers to. Now, obviously, there are no answers to these, but I'm curious how you feel. Now, how would you say your knowledge of the Pixar movies, especially, but Disney in general, how would you say your knowledge of Pixar movies are?
Probably broad, but not very deep. I know a lot of like kind of surface level stuff, but I have never dug too far into it.
Okay, but you've seen them all?
I did not see. Is Coco Pixar?
Yes.
No, not Coco. Okay, I saw Coco. Luca, the one about Vespas.
The one about Vespas, yeah.
Yeah.
You have not seen that one?
No, I listened to the Real Boys episode where some of the Real Boys talked about it.
That's true.
Apparently, it's mostly about Vespas and family, which is what
monsters.
makes it really what makes it so powerful.
That's true. Have you seen Soul?
I have not. No.
Okay. Oh well,
I think Coco was the last one I saw. I just haven't had time to get back to Pixar.
Yeah, you're so busy. If you don't know, Dylan is training for cross-country slalom skiing, as you can tell of his great strafing abilities right there. All right, so if you haven't seen Soul, then this question is not going to get asked because I
apologize.
That's okay. The point
I was not prepared.
That's okay, and obviously I didn't prepare you. But yeah, in Soul, there is one soul, number 22, that is trying to get to Earth. Blah blah. I was going to ask you who you think in the Pixar universe / Disney universe, 22 Soul is going to be, but since you haven't seen it, it would hold no relevance to you whatsoever. So I'm going to hop over to Aladdin. Have you seen Aladdin?
Yes, I've seen the original animated one a few times, and I watched the live action one between two chairs on an airplane.
Okay. Why were you sitting between two chairs?
I wasn't. The movie, I watched the movie through two chairs.
Oh, gotcha.
Yes, I'm not that thin.
Now, quick question. The genie in Aladdin, when he gets out of the lamp, he says that 10,000 years will give you a creak in the neck. And he obviously has been in it for 10,000 years, as you would think. Sure. Now, he also makes a lot of references to right now. Is there a chance that Aladdin is in a dystopic future? 10,000 years in the future?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
I'm into it.
There's really nothing else except the genie that would give that impression.
Doesn't make a lot of anachronistic references, and I mean, I think initially that was Robin Williams, but you never know. Could be some sort of hyper advanced AI, and its external hard drive is represented by a genie lamp because they're very big fans of Theme 10,000 years into the future.
Yeah, themes are great. Okay, so in the movie Aladdin uses one of his wishes to become a prince. Yes. To make him a prince. Now, to become a prince, you would need like a king, right, or a queen.
Yes.
Or whatever Jasmine's dad is, a sultan. A sultan can also have a prince. Now, the sultan reigns land over a large area, and for Aladdin to marry Jasmine, he would need to be a prince because the family wants to grow bigger and be stronger, and it's a power move, right?
Yeah.
So if Jasmine has never heard of Aladdin's country, and no one knows Aladdin's country, is there any power move for the Sultan to let Jasmine marry this prince? Because what? Go ahead.
Go for it. No, I'm wondering if Genie retroactively create his kingdom or his princedom?
Well, he created a place called he's Prince Ali of Alibaba. Prince Ali, wonderful he,
fabulous he, Ali Ababwa? Is that it?
Ababwa. So he and Jasmine is looking on a map, and she has studied geography, and she's very astute and knowledgeable for a 15-year-old girl. And she says, I've never heard of your country. I can't find it anywhere. And that's when it kind of pops up on the map. Now, do you think there's any power moves at all to let the Sultan marry a prince of a no-named country? Because if he's not of another country, that would mean that he has to be part of their country, which would make them brother and sister, which is weird.
The Sultan is kind of at a disadvantage when it comes to marriage because he only has a daughter, and it depends. If it's 10,000 years in the future, that might be more progressive. If it's whenever Aladdin is allegedly set, you're kind of marrying off your only kid, and then all of the heirs to that joint lineage will be considered Ali's like heritage or Ali's like lineage.
Right.
So it's not too late to have a son.
Okay.
Maybe that's the power move in Aladdin. Yeah. They don't want to talk about it, but
they definitely don't. They definitely don't. Now the biggest Pixar thing that has gotten me the most is, Pixar puts a lot of Easter eggs into all their movies, and I love Easter eggs. I think those are some magical things done by actual artists for the sake of art, just to make somebody giggle. And Pixar does a whole lot. Like you could look them up. There are hundreds of crazy, Pixar Easter eggs. But there is something known as the Pixar Big Five, which in every movie outside of times they just cannot do it. There are 5 major Easter eggs in every one. Now, the ones that you get, usually find the Luxor ball, which is that yellow ball with the red star. You find that in almost every movie. The Pizza Planet truck is in almost every movie, even Cars, but it can't make sense in The Good Dinosaur, so it's obviously not there. You have the voices, or the voice of John Ratzenberger, who's like their good luck charm, who voices a character in every single one, except for, I think, the last one. Now, the one that is the coolest to me is the A113. Now, A113 it was a room in the art school that a lot of major people went to. Brad Bird, even like Spielberg and Lucas. Like, people have gone and used this room, and I think it's at Caltech, and it's one of like the biggest rooms. And Pixar is able to put A113 in every single movie, every single Pixar movie, except for one. And it's so odd to me, knowing that they're fans of Easter eggs, knowing that they're fans of deep lore. It's so odd that the one that is not in there is Monsters, Inc. It's in Monsters University. I have a list of where it is in every single movie. Now, in Monsters, Inc., they actually show more letters and words than any other Pixar movie.
It's all bureaucracy and like office environment.
It's a lot of paperwork. It's a lot of filing cabinets. It's a lot of doors. Every door has its own number and representation. And for some reason, and the Pixar animators and artists have never spoke on this. If you look at Disney's website, they'll say it's in every movie. And when they show the list, they just don't put in Monsters, Inc. And even in Good Dinosaur, where it is no reason for there to be letters and numbers, they show that they made like these sticks cross each other in a way where it was A113. But why do you think, and there's no reason to know this whatsoever, but why do you think it's not in Monsters, Inc., which is one of their first movies?
It's not set on Earth?
Well, technically it is.
I mean, kind of. Yeah, partially. I mean, it's an alternate universe or something.
All the Pixar movies are on the same universe. They're on the same planet. And it starts with Good Dinosaur.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's just such an odd thing, and I've had to watch Monsters, Inc. 4 or 5 more times this week just to see if, for some reason, it's anywhere. And I'm pretty upset that it's not there, and it just doesn't make sense. Which would make me think that it's like a bigger Easter egg or something so important that I just cannot figure it out. But if you're listening or watching this and you know where the A113 Easter egg, like in Monsters, Inc., there's even a part where it's like A13, so close. There's one where it's like on RX1P. And it's like, well, okay, well, that's pretty close. It's just so annoying. So annoying. But yeah, so those are the things that are on my mind when it comes to movie lore and Easter eggs. And people around me are sick of hearing me complain about it. So I wanted to hear what you thought. And
I don't know why it wouldn't be in Monsters Inc. Considering they are all about codes and what's the code for the sock on the back?
Oh, I don't know what that code was.
3112 or something.
But even like, so that's like the CDA or whatever. And the main guy that's in that, his number is 112. And you would think that they would even be able to just go like, the CDA 113 and it's A113. But no, it's just, it's not. And it's so upsetting. That's weird. I found out there is a Doctor Strange movie in 1978 starring the Bluth mom. It is a weird mess of a movie.
I knew about it, but I never remember it exists until it's one of those things where it's like you can't know about it until someone tells you about it, and I keep forgetting that it existed.
Yeah. You'll be able to see that very soon on our YouTube channel, I'm pretty sure. Because I inadvertently downloaded it and I like it, and I've never seen it or heard about it until today, so I figured somebody else probably had.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, why not? But yes, that's all the weird nerd stuff I got for today. And as always, as we're in the creation part, or anytime really, throw some weird stuff in the comments. We would like that. Let us know how you think the story is going. If you'd like it to see it swerve, if you have an idea for a better name of a character or
whatever
city setting, just let us know. We would really appreciate other feedback. But yeah, so I'm gonna let Dylan kind of get us caught up on where we left off and what we're trying to get done in today's show.
Yeah, so what we've been doing is expanding all of our previous stories because you can't write based on like a summary paragraph. Well, you can. I can't. I don't know how Zach can. I don't know if he can or not. I certainly can't. And I realize that this month in particular, I do best when I have a detailed outline. So we're giving detailed outlines of old stories. This one is Complex Paranoia is what we called it. It is from episode, what episode is it? Like 33 of...
I think so, yeah.
Talking UpStream.
It's in the show notes.
Yes, it's in
I'm pretty sure it was 33.
But we had the folks who wrote the faculty on, and the ideas presented were shopping mall Hunger Games, and someone in an apartment complex develops a mind-reading device, and there's a murder that's been committed. He has to find out how it is. I'm simplifying a little bit. This is our little development doc here. Last week, we got some broad strokes kind of like expansion figured out, and we hit a minor stumbling block because we realized that we are effectively doing a murder mystery. And what a murder mystery thrives on is character and motive. So this week, instead of doing any plot stuff, I thought we would go through. We came up at the end of the episode last week with a list of potential characters that we want to see in this. Who we thought might be living in the apartment complex, who might be around, what characters might show up eventually. So I thought we would go through the list. Go for it.
Yeah. Now, I guess we also have to kind of figure out how this place works, the apartment place, right? So how many apartments? Well, I guess it doesn't really matter how many apartments there are because it does really matter how many characters we're going to interact with. Now, do you think that the number that we have currently it's a good number of people?
So I believe at the end of the last episode, we went through and counted potentially how many characters we have.
Yeah.
Main character, police cadet, young unmarried couple, presumably 2 people. Someone who works a graveyard shift, single parent with child, large family. I think we counted that as like 4 people.
Yeah.
Maintenance person, happy elderly couple, presumably 2. Prepper, college stoners, presumably 4 or 3. Senior citizen deadhead. It came out to like 18 characters, which feels like a lot.
That is a lot.
Not all of them need to be speaking roles, and not all of them need to actually like contribute to the story. And I'm thinking of that primarily in like the college stoners. you could have one who is more social than the other three. And it's like, yeah, the four of us live there, and then we see all four of them arrive at the barbecue, and three of them immediately go to the food table, and the one designated speaker is the one who actually handles the plot stuff. So we can have multiple characters, but we don't need to have them all carry the same narrative weight.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm into it. Okay, so our main character, I guess we really got to figure this person out.
Yeah.
They're a scientist well, at least an inventor.
Yeah, an inventor of some skill.
Yeah. Now, we also said that they were trying to use this for social media purposes. Is that right?
Yeah.
They were a social media influencer?
Yes, they're a data analyst of some sort. Yes.
Yeah, because our very, very good friend Red Flanagan was throwing some amazing ideas at us last time. So they're an inventor of sorts. But they also are looking for social media stuff. Now, this apartment place, is this any specific apartment place? Like, is it for low income people? Is it for is it a nicer one? Is it a gated community, or does that not matter?
I think both of us had the image of the apartment complex from Lady in the Water.
All right, cool.
Which is pretty blended. I think we set it in like the rougher part of town, which in addition to the weather issues also gives the police less of a motivation to show up on time.
All right, cool. Now, do you want to work? Okay, so we don't really need much more of the main character just yet, because we're probably going to like backwards write some stuff to help out. Now, the police cadet who gets heckled. Now, this is a younger person, or would you think it's funnier that it's an older person that is just changing their career?
Can you be a cadet if you're not like a young person, like a young person?
Yeah, I think a cadet is just someone who's entering the police force.
Really? Okay. Yeah, sure. Did you ever watch the show The Rookie with oh, I can't remember his name. Mal from Firefly?
Oh,
Captain Hammer.
Yeah, no.
It's another cop show, whatever. But it was about a guy who becomes a cop in like his 40s or 50s or however young he is. This might just be me, but that's what that would make me think of if it was an older person, which I'm fine with.
Yeah, okay, so I think you're right. You cannot be a cadet if you are over 21. So
okay.
So
well, they usually use cadets for like underage drinking stings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that would make sense also.
So police cadet who gets heckled. What are we saying? Like 19, 20? Are they about to age out of the program?
Well, yeah, sure. I think 21, a 21-year-old cadet. That's kind of funny. And what do we think about this person? Are they like trying to be alpha male? Are they does it matter anything else about them whatsoever?
I would see if someone is a police cadet, I would see them trying to take leadership in this sort of situation. We're snowed in, the cops aren't coming. I'm the only figure of authority here. But is probably not confident enough to deliver on it in a way where people find it believable. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you have like an actor in mind when thinking about this character yet?
I don't know. I don't know why M. Night Shyamalan's on my mind, but I'm thinking of the military guy from The Happening. Cheese and crackers.
The military guy from The Happening.
Let me see if I can find his either that or the military guy from Inside Llewyn Davis.
Okay.
Fresh faced.
Yeah.
Kind of bumbly.
Yeah, I like
soft,
that guy.
soft spoken. Yeah.
And if you want to hear our review of Inside Llewyn Davis, which happens to be Dylan's #1 favorite movie, at least
reason.
at the time of 6-ish months ago, you can go check that out on the Real Boys, or actually on this channel here. You can see that we did it on yesterday.
Yes, we did it on yesterday. Yeah,
right on yesterday.
Indeed. I don't have the actor handy, but like kind of.
Yeah, okay. I know. I understand that type of person. I get
Yeah.
that. So they're good at what they're doing. They're studious at being a cop. So they're probably like a prefect of Hogwarts, kind of. But what about them makes them get picked on or heckled?
What if they're in college with the stoners, like they're classmates with the stoners?
Okay, I like
And
that.
the stoners just constantly are like, "Oh, you better watch out! So and so's coming down the hall. Hide all of the water." Like,
yeah. Now, what if
the Deadhead is probably a lot less antagonistic, but is also like, "Hey man, you ever want to come like smoke out? You come see me."
Yeah. I'm into that. I also like the idea of maybe as they're going through college or whatever with the other ones, they started out as like a different career completely, and then one thing happened, and they immediately just like, I'm gonna be a cop.
Yeah, what would be a funny career change into a police cadet at 21 years old?
Yeah, so maybe they had okay, so maybe they were like, maybe they didn't have a job yet, but they were like a weed dealer. And one night they got robbed, and they're like, that's it. I'm sick of the crime in this city. I'm gonna be a cop. And everyone, that's what they get heckled for. Like, they know that they sold like maybe not even weed, something stupid, like Sudafed or cough syrup. Who cares? Just something dumb. But never got caught. Was there? Sure.
Selling,
Never.
Wow. What's the big one that makes you do a lot of stuff in a short amount of time?
Speed.
No, it's an actual pharmaceutical pill.
Adderall.
That's the one.
Yeah. Ritalin.
Sells Ritalin to high school kids, and then he gets robbed and decided to become a cop. Yeah, and then the stoners are like, "Wow, way to sell out, man."
Yeah, I love that.
You're only 21 years old and you're already a baby boomer.
And then even when like people are like drinking, or even like 21-year-olds, they're like, "Oh, watch out, that guy's a cop." We're not even doing illegal.
They call him narc.
Yeah. So I guess his name would be something close to narc. Like Mark is obviously way too close. We'll figure that later. All right, so who's next? So we have the college stoners, right? One is obviously like a sports stoner. They want to be in whatever it is when like athletes hurt themselves and then they have to like, physical therapy. They want to be like therapist? Yeah. And they believe in almost holistic medicine. That's what they say to excuse the fact that they still smoke weed.
They want to start the first marijuana based physical therapy clinic.
Yeah, love that. Love that. Stone to your bone. Physical therapy.
Stone to the bone.
Stone to the bone. Stone to the bone. Let's see. All right. So we have now. Are they all still roommates, or does the cadet now live by himself in the same apartment complex?
I assume the cadet had his own room or their own room. Cool. And then like we've got 4 stoners living in a single bedroom apartment, and they have like the living room partitioned off.
Yep, I'm into that. Just curtained off, like beads and stuff.
You know how it is, yeah.
I do. Okay, so now some of the other stoners that are in there, one stoner is, you wouldn't even know they're a stoner. They're just like really good at school. They're kind of like, real nerdy or whatever.
For the stealth stoner.
Yeah, the stealth stoner.
Yeah.
What are some other non-too cliche stoners?
Man. We could have the coder. like the computer coder who like gets stoned and codes.
Yeah.
They're the overachiever, and they're like, no, man, weed makes me work better.
Yeah, and they're trying to like make their own game, and it's just really too elaborate for anyone to understand.
Yeah, they're a video game programmer or aspiring. Yeah.
And and then the last one we're gonna have is maybe like a real like a blue collar worker who is like trying to get their business license because they really want to have their own landscaping company.
Landscaping?
Yeah.
Cool. Business stoner.
Yeah, like they're really into plants. They're really into like how people's front yards look, you know.
Yeah, cool. Are they getting their business? They're getting their bachelor's in business.
Yeah,
their BBA. Yeah,
their cool. BBA. Okay, so then we have these senior citizen deadheads. Oh wait,
yeah. Well, we've got a bunch of characters, but we're just going by based on what's on screen for me right now.
Yeah. All right. Cool. So the senior citizen deadhead. Now this is someone who was probably a roadie at one time, right?
They always talk about when they used to tour, but they never mention that it's when they were like a roadie.
Right. Yeah. When they were on tour. Now, but they weren't on tour with like a really big band. They were on tour with the person who taught Jerry Garcia how to play the guitar, right?
Yeah.
So it was like, oh, I toured with Garcia's mentor. It was a mentor. Whatever. We'll figure that out later. And so they are fairly old, right? They are in their they're in their 80s.
Yeah, sure.
They complain about all styles of music, every single style
simultaneously.
Yeah. Now
see, my age is better, man. And it's like, well, what did you listen to? Just everything, man. Everything was better.
Yeah.
Never make a specific statement.
And they always say that whatever song is on, they'll tell you where they ripped off the bass line from. It's like, oh, dude, this is from 1943 Wolfcat Simmons, banjo epic, live at the Woolworths.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, none of what you're saying makes any sense. It's like, trust me, it's on my iPod. Do you have a charger? I'll play it for you. So all right, who's next?
I like the idea that the deadhead likes the police cadet because he's trying to get him to loosen up, and he generally has a disfavorable opinion of the college kids because he's like, man, stoners are different these days. You guys are selling out because they're all trying to achieve something, and he's like, no, that cop kid just needs to loosen up, man.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Yeah.
All right, so we have our Doomsday Prepper. Now, this person, I don't know why this quickly popped into my head, but I have the idea that they have built in a foyer. Yeah, I know it's an apartment complex, but when you open their door, there is 2 more doors. So they kind of built out like a foyer kind of.
Yeah, they have an airlock.
Yeah. And it's like, and it's fake biometric stuff. Like he tells people it's like an eye scanner, but it's really just another fingerprint thing or something.
Oh, he bought it online, and it's real. Well, it's from Wish.
Yeah, it's like trust me, don't even try to hack into it if you can't. Now in his place, he has so much stocked up food that I like the idea of him now. He had to get his furniture out, and he sits on like cases of water, and his table's made of like cans of just meat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's cool. What do you think about that?
I like it. He likes the maintenance person. So what I think we should make sure we do is that we have a web of who likes and dislikes each other.
Okay.
So he likes the maintenance person because he does his own work. You know what I mean?
Yeah, him and the maintenance guy who is a real crafty pseudo engineer. who like makes his own lawnmowers.
Yeah.
They work together. I think that's cool.
Yeah.
And the maintenance guy is very impressed by the stuff that the prepper has.
Yeah.
I think that's cool.
Okay, cool.
Now the prepper,
yeah.
I think they're very young. I think that's
Okay.
funny. Like they're 22-ish, maybe 21. And they really only got the idea from the AMC hit show Doomsday Preppers. Or whatever show, whatever channel that was on. Excuse me.
Yeah, cool.
And what if they also live with their mom?
Sure.
Or sibling or something.
Lives with someone.
Yeah, and they they don't really care that he's a doomsday prepper because they have plenty of food and they feel safe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so who's next?
Hold on. There we go. Okay. Happy elderly couple.
Yeah. So this is an elderly couple, and they have been married since they were both 15 years old. They are middle school sweethearts.
Yeah.
Let's see.
How old are they now? Like 70s?
They are. Yeah, I would say
we have an 80 in Deadhead.
Yeah, I would say in their early to mid set. They're very cordial with everybody. They really just get along with every single people. They like cook. They make cookies constantly. They have just their normal, like their weekly schedule is always the same, and you know that you can probably go over their place for dinner if you know that it's meatloaf night.
Yeah.
Because she makes a lot of meatloaf on meatloaf night.
They're cute. Yeah.
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 Yeah, okay. Now let's make them like let's make them like an elderly like lesbian couple just so that we have more women in this place.
Yeah.
And I know that my natural go-to is always a male perspective because it's always easier for me to tell those stories. But I'm really challenging myself to make sure that there are more, other than me's in my stories.
No, not all cis white straight men. Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. I like that.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. So
they got married at 50. They got married 65. They got married 55 years ago, and they're women.
Yeah.
Good for them.
Yeah.
I don't know how that happens, but they got retroactive marriage license.
Well, it wasn't in America.
Okay.
But actually, to them it counts. And then once it became legal here, they did it as soon as possible.
Immigrated from somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll figure it out later. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. I wonder where you were able to marry. Huh. Okay. Let's just keep going. Who's next?
Maintenance person. Crafty pseudo engineer is what we've got. There should be more to that.
Yeah. All right. So they are mega fans of like Star Trek, and they keep trying to like say make their own futuristic technologies. And I like them, being big like YouTube video fans. They like to try to just do everything on their own.
They're into podcasts. They're surprised. They're a pop culture junkie.
Yeah. Yes. And let's see.
Yeah.
What else about them? They're What would you say about this person? Like what are they? They're good people.
Yeah, it's good. They're a good person.
Yeah.
They're good people, but if you dig too deep, some of their personal opinions about society might come across as a little not primitive. I'm not saying primitive, but I'm saying like dog eat dog. They love Star Trek, but they're like, there's no way everybody would be so peaceful in a world with this. Yeah.
But they're really striving for like world peace.
Yes. Like, no, we have to overcome our animal nature. Because if one of us died, it would take less than a day for one of us to eat that body. And it's like, what are you talking about? You gotta have some quirk,
Yeah.
Some of these people have to be weird.
No, I'm into that. And how old did we say they are?
We didn't. I don't know. We got a lot of college kids and we got some old people. Like, I don't know, upper 30s.
Okay, cool.
In their upper 30s. Cool. Next up, large family. And I think we said 2 parents and like 3 or 4 kids. And the kids we can have like 1 or 2 kids who are of an age where they're people. And the rest of the kids can just be human-shaped blobs. You know how they are before they're like 2?
Oh, yeah, of course. Now, this is a family that I like the idea of maybe them fostering a few people.
Okay.
And then living in this apartment short term until their house is being built.
Okay.
So they're staying here to save up money, and they have fostered a few children. And yeah, they're helicoptery. I feel that they're Christian.
Yeah, they're vaguely religious.
Yeah, which is annoying because they have worldly children.
Yeah.
In that, yeah. And that annoying kind of like things that celebrities did in the early 2000s where it's like, I need to adopt more children.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so now they are in their 40s, right?
They're waspy.
Yeah, very aggressively. That's what I was trying to hint to.
Aggressively waspy.
Aggressively waspy. Now, they're in their late 30s, right? Late 30s. That would make more sense.
Let's say 40s. Why not? They've fostered before, but they're on the new batch.
Yeah, cool. And
is that how you talk about foster kids? I don't know. I've never fostered.
Yeah, and I don't think you should. Right now.
I'm not planning on it. So that works out for everybody.
None of you call them a batch like they're a bunch of gremlins. All right. Now they have 4 kids, right?
Yeah. 2 of them are fosters. Or do they foster 4 kids at a time?
I think that 3 of them are fosters.
Okay.
I think that they fostered a child, then they had one of their own children.
Okay.
And then they wanted their child to have kids that were their age, the same age as a child. Go ahead.
So I know that there's some relatively strict requirements for letting people foster. So what I think they're doing is they are faking. They live in this apartment complex, but they fake having an address. They rent out like Airbnb, like a specific Airbnb or something as their address whenever these like the contacts or whatever come through. You know what I mean?
So they're bad people?
They're not bad people, but they are like, these kids, we love these kids and they love us and are doing really well with us. We had to temporarily live in an apartment building while our house is finished. So we can't tell people that we live in this apartment building. Cool. And we can't tell some people that we're fostering.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And one of the, no, I was trying to think of like weird little bits we can put with that because I like the idea of one of the kids constantly telling people, I don't live here. And they're like, no, you do. And it's like, not like to the police cadet, they're like, we don't live here. And they go, no, I know you live here. Don't say that just because I'm a cop.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't live here. We don't live here. We live, whatever.
Yeah.
I think that's funny.
Currently hiding the fact that they're fostering from people and hiding that they own a house. No, that I'm gonna put this in a different way. Currently, they had to live in this apartment building while their house is renovated, and have to hide it from social services because the kids, and I'm just doing this to point out, the kids are doing great. It's just a temporary thing.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, they're
And
good. They're good people. They're a little annoying because they're very do-goody, but they're doing good.
Yeah, and they think they're doing good. they know they're doing good.
Yes.
Now they the children they have one 12-year-old, and then the other 3 are like 4, 5, and 6.
They're fostering that older kid, and then they've got 2 younger foster kids.
Yeah. Or maybe two kids of their own. What do you think?
I like the idea of them fostering a kid who's older than any of their actual like birth kids.
Yeah.
But they're the sort of person who are like, we had one and we had another one, and we just wanted to kind of like balance it out. So we fostered an older one and we fostered one that's in between. So we're a little balanced family.
Yeah. I like them always having like their excuse of why they kept doing it. It's like, you're doing a good job. And it's like, well, yeah, but it's because 12 years ago, we really wanted to have a baby. And it's like, let's just foster a baby. And then after a little bit, it's like, maybe we want a baby again. And then we fostered another baby, but then we actually had a baby and we wanted another, that kind of thing. So yeah, I think that's fine.
Oh my God.
They're not bad.
No, they're not bad.
Yeah. Okay.
they're just annoying.
Yeah, annoying. All right. Who's next?
We have single parent with children.
Yeah. Okay. So single parent with this person has 2 children. This is a single father.
Single father, cool.
Single father. 2 children from the same woman who is who's in prison.
Yeah.
She's in prison for like petty theft for the family.
Okay.
Like
she got arrested for shoplifting the diapers or something.
Yeah, something so stupid, And the husband can't get a job, and so this has been very, very hard on them. But they're good. They're good people. They don't. Nothing bad happens.
Yeah, does odd jobs to keep the rent.
Yeah, and he always maybe like helps out. He helps out the maintenance guy. He takes weird jobs from the Doomsday, Prepper. Yeah. I think that's cool.
And is needlessly vague about how exactly he gets his cash.
Yeah,
because we gotta make sure that there are questions as to the trustworthiness of a lot of these people.
Yep.
Because we wanted to feel like pretty much anybody here could be the one who committed the murder.
Yeah, like he doesn't have a job, but they always pay all their bills.
Mm-hmm.
And people are like, where do you get your money?
Yeah.
Cool. But I like, I like them.
What are his kids like? Just vague.
Let's see. His kids are they're twins, right? Twins are creepy. Let's have a set of twins. They are 11 years old. Because 11 is gross looking. So 11-year-old twins, they are identical, but opposite, different,
fraternal?
I guess fraternal.
Fraternal twins are when it's a boy, like opposite, like different genders.
You can't be identical. Well, no, obviously not identical. All right, well, that word really just stops.
I'm looking up identical fraternal twins.
Well, like, isn't there when it's like a boy and a girl, born different sexes but look the same?
I don't think so. Usually, fraternal twins are from 2 separately released eggs, and identical are from 1 egg that splits.
Huh.
Yeah. And I don't know that there's like I don't know if there's another type of twin. Everything is saying there are only two types.
Let's see. Sometimes identical twins can be assigned the sex of male and female at birth. These twins start off as identical males with the XY sex chromosome, but shortly after the egg divides, a genetic mutation called Turner syndrome occurs, leaving one with the chromosome XO.
Oh.
That's crazy.
I learned something today.
Me too. Well, that's interesting. Anyway, I think you're right, though. So let's say fraternal twins. Fraternal twins that do resemble each other fairly well. And they always think they're getting... Maybe they don't look alike. Well, they look similar, not identical. And they're always trying to get away with being the other one.
In my grade school, like, we had a few fraternal twins in my town growing up, and they weren't like... They were very clearly twins. Like, you could look at them and be like, yeah, you two are definitely like twins. But yeah, cool. And always trying to do the parent trap scheme with the other apartment residents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. Precocious 11-year-olds. Yeah.
Yeah. Real cool. All right. So young unmarried couple with dogs.
Yeah.
All right, I'm into that. Now, they have two dogs. One is a wannabe show dog. This is their second dog. Their first dog is just an absolute mutt, and they love that dog. The second dog is, once they realize that they have all this dog equipment, it's like, maybe we can make some money off of this. We're very good at training this crazy dog. So they spend a lot of their money fairly recently on getting a purebred. What's a weird dog?
Show dog.
No, name it.
No. They are never specific about what breed. They're like, oh, that's a really gorgeous dog. Thanks, it's a show dog. Well, what breed is it? Well, we just wanted a dog that we could take to shows, but it's purebred.
Yeah, and they go, oh, no, what breed? It's like, no, it's pure.
Yeah,
but it's so big. It's like a mastiff.
It's mastiff sized. Yeah,
it's a mastiff sized dog that is actually not purebred, but they were sold it with under the guise that it was for a lot of money. Like any conversation usually reverts back to them saying, look, we're really just trying to save money right now. It's like, we didn't ask. We want to know if you want to go sit the pool.
Really seems to be banking on its trainability and show dogship.
And that's why they haven't got married yet, because they can't afford it. They're waiting for this thing to really cash in.
All their cash into the dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
And it's so big. It's like a pony.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah.
It's a great apartment dog because all it does is just lie around.
Yeah. Maybe it turns out later on that it's like an old domesticated wolf or something. From like a defunct zoo. It's just so big. I just keep thinking this thing being almost like a liger size.
Yeah. Like, you're not bringing the dog, are you? It's like, well, why not? Wait, which dog are you bringing? Well, we're bringing
the show dog,
Marty. Which one's Marty? Nobody knows which dog they're talking about, despite the fact they have different names. Yeah,
but they like that name so much that they kind of name both dogs the
they
same name.
Both dogs Marty.
Yeah, but they call the first one Martin because he's just more familiar. It's like, we always had our mindset on Marty, but we wasted the name on our first dog.
Yeah. If we have a kid, we'll name him Martin.
Yeah, and they're always talking about the dog and or how much money they don't have, and they always say things like, well, have you ever seen a breed as pure as this? And people are like, I've never seen this kind of dog.
I've never seen a dog this big. I know, it's purebred.
Exactly.
Purebred.
Purebred. They're like, God, okay, fine.
That dog's a whole loaf.
Yeah, and it poops so big, like huge poops everywhere. And they're always like, that's not our dog. It's like, you're the only people with dogs.
You're the only people with a dog. It was grandfathered in. We're not allowed to have pets.
But ironically, the 4-year-old is pooping outside, and they keep blaming it on The pony dog.
One of the foster kids.
Yeah. All right. Graveyard.
Someone who works a graveyard shift.
Now, the most popular graveyard shifts would be, I guess, the graveyard, right? That's a pretty. I guess any shift at a graveyard's a graveyard shift.
My thought, I don't know if it's too obvious, but funeral director.
That is way too not obvious. Why would anyone think a funeral director works graveyard shifts?
It's like, oh, I work the graveyard shift, and they're like, oh, like super late, don't you have to go to work? It's like, no, like I'm a funeral director.
Just at a graveyard.
Yeah.
So they work a regular shift.
I mean, we could
that
do
really
that.
That defeats the purpose of having them come at nighttime.
It does. No, you're right.
Because they gotta be away and maybe try to come to this party. All right. So classic graveyard shift, I would say like store stocker, like shelf stocker people. They usually work graveyard shifts. There is like casinos, right? There's things that are open 24 hours. So maybe there's so maybe this person works the graveyard shift at like a 24-hour movie theater, and they're like horror movie buffs, and every time somebody like mentions things, he's always kind of commenting on, oh, that's how that person died in so and so movie. And they go, what? That's my sister's birthday.
Yeah.
And they go, yeah, my sister's birthday. That flick is gruesome. And you're like,
yeah, the Lucio Fulci movie, My Sister's Birthday. Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, I can only find one cut, and it's half silent, half in Italian. But I tell you, it really sets the mood.
Yeah. Hyper Hipster doesn't show up until late. Is he at work when the snowstorm blows in? That's why we don't see him very much.
Yeah, but he lies and tells people that he did make it to the party. Because he wants to like save face, although he never made it. That's why some people are like, well, I never saw you, because I swear I was here. So,
yeah.
And they go, huh. Well, but also he is in his like early 50s.
Yeah.
Like I want him to feel sleazy, you know? Not be, but feel sleazy.
Yeah. Feel sleazy, but isn't.
Yeah. Feel sleazy. Pretty easy.
Yeah.
Going.
Yeah.
All right. What else we got?
I think that's good for today. I think what we need to do next week, consider who these characters are, which one is guilty, and which one's the victim.
Yeah, I like that.
And then who's the red herring and stuff like that.
Wow, that time went by so fast. That's crazy. I could literally make up characters all day long with you, Dylan.
That's the easy part.
Yeah, that is the easy part, which is why that's my part. Your part is the hard part, which is the creating and writing. But I would prefer to do this with nobody else, my friend Dylan.
Yeah,
you're my best friend. I appreciate you. You are aggressively talented, and I would have no other partner. So thank you for being you, and I appreciate you.
Vice versa.
And like I said at the beginning, if you want to hear the cool words that Dylan writes, you could check out all of the weird stuff. Just type in Some Nobodies, no matter what you're looking at, because we are Some Nobodies. I'm Zach. He is Dylan. You could find him on Vorpal Words. He is crushing the November novel member.
Pretty much. Not National Novel Writing Month. I did it. I hit 50,000.
Hell yeah.
I don't know what I'm going to do with that project. Hopefully finish it at some point. But until then, we'll be doing some more... we'll be getting some more Some Nobodies written stuff out there for you.
Oh, yeah. It did take Dylan a full month to hit 50,000 steps, where it usually takes me about 2 to 3 days. But I'm really proud of him for sticking in there and doing it. So check out Some Nobodies, guys. Last week we started this concept. Next Tuesday we're going to complete it. I guess we'll continue. We're not going to.
We'll continue. We're not going to finish this.
Yeah. We'll continue it. If you want to hear how we think about certain movies that strangers like, you can listen to The Real Boys. Next episode is Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, which, you know, there's a cartoon. Did you know there's an Ace Ventura cartoon? I was watching it today.
Maybe.
It's Pet
I feel like I did, but that could also just be because you incepted me right now.
I have been incepting you with random tidbits over the last couple years.
I'm terrified of appearing unknowledgeable, so I just say, yeah, I knew that to everything.
Yeah, and I appreciate that because my confidence really helps out. Because then
Good.
it's like, well, I guess he's buying all my lies, which is great.
Just enable each other toxically. It's great.
Yeah, go check out Jack Billings Presents. They got some weird stuff going on. Yeah. I think tomorrow is when. Is it tomorrow? The new thing drops.
I think it's Tuesdays. I think it's
Tuesdays. Today's. It's
oh
on
my
today's.
God. I'm so embarrassed. I didn't even know.
I'm sorry, I forgot as well. Anyway, check out Jack Billings. They got this cool haunted mansion. I hear today. It's weekend of Bernie's ish. So if you're into Weekend of Bernie's, but probably more butt jokes, go check out Mr. Michael Colby and all the Jack Billings, etc., etc. But until next time, guys, I have been Zach. He's been Dylan, and you've been great. Have a great night. Drink some water.
Bye. Yeah, drink some water. Hydrate or die.
Hydrate or dihydrate.
Yeah, there you go. Bye.
Bye.